Welcome to The Real World. My name is Cameron. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Real World Podcast YouTube channel. This is the place for movie fans. So if you're a fan of movies, you're in the right place. We're happy to talk about all things film related, movie theaters, what's going on there, what's on streaming. Today, we're talking about Blu-rays, Blu-ray discs, 4Ks, physical media. Huge proponents of physical media. Got this huge collection behind me. We've only scratched the surface on it, so we're going to dive into another film in the collection, that is The Polar Express. We've got Christmas fast approaching. It's already December. We're going to be taking a look at all of these Christmas movies that I have here in my collection. So be on the lookout for more of these videos coming very soon. Today we wanted to look at The Polar Express. It's one my family has watched for years now. And so we wanted to take a look at this one, give you all the technical specs, give you our thoughts on the presentation here on Blu-ray. Also, my buddy Bert is going to join me, and he's going to break down the 3D version. So for all you 3D enthusiasts, be on the lookout for that. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on The Polar Express, just the movie itself. I know there are some that don't enjoy it as much as I do and my family does, but this is going to be a fun one, so let's get started. All right, folks, here it is, The Polar Express on Blu-ray, starring Tom Hanks in five roles he plays in this movie. Pretty incredible stuff. Great performances all around. All the actors do a great job. Robert Zemeckis is a pioneer in filmmaking. Has been for decades, and this is no exception. One of the first fully performance capture films. It's not an animated movie like traditional animation. This is totally different, and the bonus features, which are listed on the back here, cover that extensively. These are real actors playing these characters on a soundstage, and then the animators sort of use their performance to create the animation. It's really, really amazing. I'm going to start with the bonus features. You can read them here. All of them are very informative, quite in depth. There's tons of footage of the actors on set in these strange kind of outfits, playing out these scenes. There's stuff with Josh Groban. There's stuff, from all the people involved, the director, the producer, the writer. There's even a featurette on the author of the book, which I think is great. I'll talk a little bit more about the packaging now. This is a very thin Blu-ray disc. It came in a pack with 3 other movies. And you'll see it compared here to a regular Blu-ray disc package. It's much thinner. But it's pretty much just as durable, and it's the same, width and height. So it doesn't look out of place on the shelf necessarily, other than, again, just the thickness of the case. I kind of wish more were thinner. That way I could fit more on my shelf. Let's pop it open. Here's the disc. The same artwork on the cover as on the disc, that iconic poster. This, by the way, is the 20th anniversary of the film. It came out in 2004, and now it's 2024, so it's pretty cool that we get to do this review now. And I think the film really holds up to this day. The video here is full 1080p high-definition video. Looks great. Audio is Dolby Digital 5.1 surround track, which sounds fantastic. A lot of details there in the sound mix. It's really a major highlight. The animation, I think, is what turns some people off of this movie. I think it works because they're not trying to go for an ultra-realistic look, and so I really think it's quite magical. But let's see what Bert thinks about the 3D Blu-ray version. Take it away.
Thanks, Cam. Okay, so I'm going to be reviewing the 3D Blu-ray of The Polar Express. The equipment that I use, I have a 47-inch LG 1080p television from 2012 and a 4K 3D Blu-ray player. Both the 3D and 2D versions of the film are on this 3D disc. The audio is DTS HD. So for the film, visually, this is a much older 3D style animation. Obviously, it's when close to when it first started. Mainly with Toy Story, and then you had films like Shrek. So this is pretty early on around that time. And actually, early motion capture is employed too in this film. I think the film looks great. Honestly, this is a very muted presentation, very soft focus. Most of it takes place at night. So this is not going to be the crisp 4K type of presentation that you would get in, for instance, Zemeckis' own A Christmas Carol that he did about 10 years later. I mean, that one is much more refined and sophisticated. So just keep that in mind when watching this. You're not going to get ultimate detail out of this disc. Bonus features on this are basically exactly the same as the 2D Blu-ray. So let's talk a little bit about depth. The depth here ranges from very good to extreme. Zemeckis uses these camera angles that really emphasize the depth. I'll give an example. There's several scenes like this, but one example is you got a point of view of the camera, the virtual camera, being mounted on the side of the front part of the train. The train's going around a bend, and so you can see the front all the way down the train and the back, and it looks like you're sitting right on that train, and you can just see so far down to the back end of that train because of where the camera's placed, and also they're utilizing the 3D for that effect. It's really profound. It really is. There's also several in this film, several sort of roller coaster type moments or scenes, I should say. And I don't know if you've ever dialed up on YouTube some of those videos like 3D demos or that kind of thing. And there'll be one that's like there's a few, I think, there are 3D roller coasters, and they're sort of rudimentary roller coaster experiences that are animated. And because it's 3D, you experience the thrill of that a little bit. Well, you have that here in these roller coaster scenes, except they're, expertly done and look tremendous. So if you like those kinds of exciting things, you definitely experience that 2 or 3 times in 3D in this film. And then let me move over to pop outs, which I really enjoy. This film has a lot of them and long scenes with them sometimes. For example, very early on, there's snow falling, and the snowflakes, some of them are farther off, so they're small, and then some of them are closer to you, and so they're really big, and they fall what seems like right in front of your face. And so that's a lot of fun. And then continuing with that theme, there's the scene where the kid is on top of the train, and he's trying to walk forward on the top of the train, and the snow's flying at you. And if you've ever lived in a snowy climate and tried to drive in the snow, you'll get that kind of Starfield effect where it really looks 3D, and things are, well, in real life it is 3D, and it's flying at you. Well, in the film, we get several minutes of that in a scene where all of this stuff is like pelting you, all the snowflakes are pelting you in the face, pop out after pop out. I mean, it's extreme. And so I love that. The biggest pop out in the entire film, I think, is that just after the 14-minute mark, the camera, again, virtual camera, is basically mounted on the ground. The train is coming toward the camera and slowing down, and it's ever so slowing down. And as it comes out, there's a snowplow on the front of this train, and the tip of that comes toward the camera, and then, man, that thing comes right up and may as well poke you in the eye. It's a tremendous pop out. It's a great one. The kid with the whiny voice on the train, I hope that identifies who I'm talking about. I don't know the character's name, but he leans over the seat and he's kind of talking right into the camera like this, and his, with his nose and everything, it looks like he's coming right out of the screen. It's a bit actually almost disturbing, but nonetheless, it's very much a pop out. I consider it that, and it's just kind of adds to the magic, I guess. In the hot chocolate scene, hot chocolate is poured right out onto the camera, and so it looks like it's splashing you right in the face. There's a few other pop outs I didn't mention that are good too. There's later on, there's a lot of snow particles too, again, and then even some sparks that shoot out at the camera. I do have to mention one more moment that's just incredible. There's this scene where Zemeckis uses this sweeping camera angle where he's coming in from outside the train toward the front car. And obviously you feel that movement, you see the train approaching, and then the camera flies down through an open window in the car, across the car to the controls, and everything that's in the path of that flies right out at you in the face. It's a very exciting moment. It's one of the best 3D pop out scenes in the film. So bottom line, is the 3D the preferred format when watching the Polar Express? The answer in this case for this film, I don't know because I've only ever watched this in 3D, and I only would ever watch it in 3D. I don't plan to ever sit and not enjoy the 3D experience of the pop outs and all of that, the effort that went into that. So unless I'm forced to, I probably will never watch the standard Blu-ray or 4K. Whether the 4K would look better, I'm not sure how clear it would look with the increased detail, considering they're trying to make less detail be pronounced in this film. So that'd be interesting. Maybe I'll leave that to Cam to determine. So my rating of the 3D in this film is 5 stars. Back to you, Cam.
Well, that's it, folks, for the Polar Express on Blu-ray and Blu-ray 3D. Let us know your thoughts on it. We want to know what you think about this movie, about this presentation on Blu-ray. Does it look great? Does it look terrible? What's the audio like? You know, are you fans of that? Special features, did you get anything out of those? We want to know what your thoughts are on it. And just the movie itself. Again, I know a lot of people really don't like this one, and so I want to know why. Give me your reasons why you don't care for it. But I'm a big fan of it. Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, one of those great actor-director collaborations that's happened many times. It just happened with Here, which I was a huge fan of. So let us know what your thoughts are on this Blu-ray edition. And again, the Blu-ray 3D version, if you have that. Tell us if you think Bert was accurate in his assessment. Many more Christmas Blu-rays here to check out. So these are reviews that are going to be heading your way very shortly. So we are excited to bring those to you as soon as we can. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notified of all our videos. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. That helps us a lot. Share this on social media. The Real World is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm on Letterboxd, so you can follow me down there below in the description. Thank you again for joining us. Have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time right here on The Real World.